A fresh update has just surfaced regarding the New York Knicks' plans in free agency, and it came directly from ESPN's First Take earlier today. During the segment, the panel highlighted a surprising new name linked to the Knicks, hinting that New York might not be done making moves just yet this offseason. Let's break down what was revealed. The discussion opened by circling back to the Knicks' long-standing interest in Marcus Smart, a connection that dates back to at least 2022. Knicks president Leon Rose has consistently admired Smart for his tenacity, leadership, and the edge he brings to a locker room. He's viewed as the kind of player who can raise a team's competitiveness and bring championship-level habits to the organization. However, Smart's recent buyout from the Washington Wizards changed everything. Within days, he signed a 2-year, $11 million contract with the Los Angeles Lakers, a deal that New York simply couldn't afford due to salary cap limitation. Once Smart committed to LA, it left the Knicks no choice but to explore alternative options. So who's next on their list? One familiar name that's resurfaced in conversations is Ben Simmons. His name has been floated around the Knicks for weeks now. While there's been plenty of skepticism surrounding his health, mentality, and offensive confidence, one thing that's never been in question is his elite defensive ability. That skill alone has kept him in the mix as a possible addition. But First Take also brought up another player, someone flying a bit more under the radar. Jordan Goodwin, a rugged defense-first guard, was just waived by the Lakers to clear a roster spot for Marcus Smart. According to reporting from Dean Simon, which the show referenced, Goodwin could be an ideal fit for what the Knicks are looking for, a tough-minded, energetic role player who brings physicality and effort to the backcourt. J.J. Redick, who's praised Goodwin in the past, described him as a banshee on the court, a non-stop motor, aggressive defender, and someone who brings an edge every time he steps on the floor. The Lakers were reportedly impressed by him, but had to cut ties once Smart became available. In fact, many Lakers fans weren't too thrilled with that decision, and Rob Pelinka took some heat online for letting Goodwin go. To be fair, Goodwin didn't play a major role in the Lakers' postseason run. He only reached double-digit minutes in one playoff game, and his overall production was modest, roughly 1 point, 1 rebound, and half an assist per outing. Still, his energy and on-ball defense stood out, even in limited action. If the Knicks do end up signing him, it would be for depth, not to fill a starting role. He'd likely slide in as the 9th or 10th man in the rotation, someone who can pressure opposing guards, defend on the perimeter, and offer a bit of secondary playmaking. That's why both Simmons and Goodwin came up in the same conversation. They bring different things to the table, but both fit the mold of what New York is looking to add: defense and ball handling. Now, according to First Take, Jordan Goodwin is very much near the top of the Knicks' list of free agent options, right up there with Landry Shamet. Goodwin checks multiple boxes the Knicks are clearly prioritizing right now. He's an elite defender, known for throwing himself into every play, diving for loose balls, and doing whatever it takes to help his team win. As J.J. Redick said on the show, the guy's a banshee, pure energy on both ends of the court, and that's exactly the kind of edge New York wants coming off their bench. Let's look at the numbers. Goodwin averaged 5.6 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 1.5 assists this past season. He also shot 38% from beyond the arc, including over 41% from the corners, which gives you a glimpse at his value as a 3-and-D player. Add in the fact that he can also handle the ball in short spurts, and you've got a well-rounded guard who could slide seamlessly into a depth role with this Knicks squad. He's young, hungry, and out to prove he belongs in the league long-term. That's a strong profile for a team like the Knicks that's already got a core in place and is now looking for gritty contributors to round things out. New York can offer him a real chance to stick on a playoff team, not to be a lead guard, but to be a meaningful part of the rotation. Now, circling back to Marcus Smart, the Knicks had checked in on him too. According to reporting referenced on First Take, Smart was hoping to land somewhere with a clearer path to playing time, which made the Lakers the more appealing destination. The Knicks were only offering a veteran minimum, while LA came with a 2-year, $11 million deal. That made the choice simple for Smart. who's now expected to step into a meaningful role in Los Angeles. Statistically, Smart had a down year: 9 points per game, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, and just 39% shooting from the field. His three-point percentage was around 35%. Not terrible, but a step back from what we'd seen in Boston. Still, his defensive instincts and leadership make him a strong pickup for the Lakers. When it comes to Ben Simmons, the conversation on First Take took a measured but optimistic tone. While it's true that Simmons hasn't resembled his all-star self in recent seasons, the panel emphasized that he still brings real value to any team when he's physically right. He may not be lighting up the scoreboard, but he remains an elite-level defender and a smart, instinctive playmaker. During last season, split between his time with the Brooklyn Nets and a short stint with the Clippers, he posted averages of 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists across just over 22 minutes per game. Those numbers might not jump off the page, but for a guy who was working his way back from injuries, they reflect a player who can still impact the game in subtle, meaningful ways. Even though his steal and block stats weren't particularly eye-catching, his defensive presence on the court was very noticeable. He stayed engaged, switched well on the perimeter, and made life difficult for opposing guards. Another key point: Simmons just turned 29 this past week. That means he's still in his athletic prime, far from washed, but there's also a sense of urgency for him to prove he belongs in a serious rotation again. He's at a point in his career where a bounce-back season could reshape his entire narrative. And when you connect the dots, it becomes clear that the Knicks have a specific profile in mind this offseason. They're not chasing big names just for the sake of headlines. They're targeting guards who can defend with intensity and take care of the basketball. That same theme has shown up in nearly every free agent or trade target they've been linked to this summer. Now, it's worth noting that other teams are in on Simmons as well, including the Celtics, Suns, and Kings. And frankly, all of those teams have a more obvious path to playing time than the Knicks can offer. That's why there's skepticism around Simmons choosing New York, even if the interest is mutual. Realistically, he may go where the opportunity is bigger. Interestingly, when Knicks fans were polled about whether they'd prefer Ben Simmons or Landry Shamet, the overwhelming favorite was Shamet. Even actor and Knicks superfan Ben Stiller chimed in with a like on that take. The fan base seems to feel Shamet is the safer, more reliable choice. And there's good reason. Shamet stepped up in the postseason, averaging 6 points, 2 assists, and shooting an impressive 50% from the field and nearly 54% from 3 in his final 4 playoff games. The efficiency was there. The defensive effort was solid. He showed he can contribute on both ends in high-pressure moments. Still, it feels like the Knicks are zeroed in on ball handling and on-ball defense right now. So if they decide not to go with someone like Shamet, that could open the door for a young guy like Tyler Kolek to earn a real shot, even though his summer league performance was a bit uneven. So that's where things stand. Jordan Goodwin would absolutely make sense as a rotational piece, not just an end-of-bench body, but a guy who can carve out real minutes on this team. If you ask me, I'd be totally on board with the signing. The fit makes a lot of sense, especially given the Knicks' clear priorities right now. What do you think? Would you like to see Goodwin in a Knicks jersey? Let me know.